Hello and welcome back to the Moonlight server. So this is episode 2 and it has been a little bit of time since the first episode. It could possibly have been 2 weeks, depending on when this video goes out. And the reason there is just because, these types of videos take considerably longer to make than my regular videos. I mean, the last episode maybe took me a week of on-off playing to get all the footage. And who knows how long this episode is going to take. But yeah, I should probably aim to get maybe 1 out a week, but don't hold me to that. I never keep my promises. But before I actually get on to what I'm doing this episode, I want to talk about last episode a little bit because I got quite a bit of feedback on the video. So one of the top comments was the sound was all over the place. So I think the problem there was basically that I'm talking as I am now, and I'd open a chest or something and it would completely overpower my voice. So I've actually turned the game sounds down to near 0 levels at the moment, so that doesn't happen again. But I think the actual reason why that was happening, why it seemed so apparent, was down to the way I record my sounds. So what I do is, on my actual microphone, I lower the gain completely, so I don't use any of the gain, and basically what that does is it gives a better quality of sound. So my computer can be quite loud sometimes, and by lowering the gain, I found that it increases, or not increases, it actually decreases background noise and it improves the quality. And then what I do, because if you don't record with any gain, the sound is too quiet. When I'm editing, I just artificially raise it. But in the process of that, the game sounds also rise. So even though I'm making my voice louder, the game sounds are getting even louder. So it just gives the impression that my voice is even quieter and the game sounds are too loud. So yeah, I've lowered it this time so that shouldn't be a problem. Now on to what we're actually going to be doing. So first off, let me just say I was actually going to do something different this episode, because last episode I was kind of just building. So what I wanted to do was do something a bit more technical, but what I had in mind turned out to be a lot more expensive than I initially thought. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to put that on hold, and instead I'm actually it's going to be more building. So I hope you like building. I hear a spider somewhere. Yes, there's a spider, lovely. So what I'm actually going to do today is, obviously last time I built this tower, which you can't even see because the clouds are in the way. I should probably turn those off actually. Clouds off. So last time I built this tower, but the thing with this tower, as gorgeous as it is a little bit bland at the moment because it's just, a big tower of cyan. No, it's not cyan, it's light blue stained clay. So what I'm going to do today is I am going to give it a roof, and I'm also going to give it more detail so that it's not just this tower, and maybe depending on how long it takes me, I would also quite like to maybe do the interior, like not completely, but what I mean is the inside of the tower shouldn't look like this because it will look very patchy and horrible. So it's going to need like a second layer. What's a layer? It's going to need a second layer, like a second wall, like an interior wall, so that it's a different material from the outside. But who knows how long this is going to take. I have actually played around with the roof designs in my test world, and the amount of materials seems to be less than the amount of materials required for the tower itself, so it shouldn't take too long. And I think I have the resources to make it anyway, so I don't have to start collecting things, fingers crossed. Oh, I know you just love all of these jump cuts. So I went ahead and built a little bit of the roof. I haven't really done much at all, but this is what I've done, so nothing really. But I'm just kind of showing you the skeleton of how the roof is going to be. So much like the base of the tower, there's going to be a curve, like a slope, and it's quite a steep slope. So the look I'm going for is like imagine a wizard's hat sort of thing. That's kind of a similar shape for what I'm going for the roof. And yeah, this is just going to be repeated on each of the 4 sides, and then I'm going to fill in the corners, much like the tower, and it will look lovely. So yeah, I will get on with that, and I will get back to you when I've actually made some proper progress with this. Slowly but surely it is coming along. So here it is in its current form. I filled in each of the sides. Now I just need to do the corners and probably get some more lapis because I am very, very low. And I don't know if that's actually going to get me through, but I hope it does. But yeah, let's see what it looks like with corners. The corners are in place, and this is what it looks like in its current form. Pretty good, but it's not actually finished yet. So the top of the tower still has a hole in it, and the sides are a little bit too orderly. So as you can see, it's just kind of like a big circle at the moment, but that's not really the look I was going for. But I ran out of lapis, so I'm going to have to go find some more. Now, something I didn't anticipate was that the roof is actually going to cause a big shadow to be cast on the entire tower. This was unintended, and it doesn't look too bad, but I don't think it's really going to work very well with what I have planned for other details on the tower. So what I'm probably going to have to do there is just cut a hole in the roof so that the sunlight can hit the tower. I don't want to use torches or anything because I don't think it would look very good. But yeah, I will get back to you when I have made some more progress. I know you're just loving these jump cuts, aren't you? Some progress has been made to the tower. So now the tower has an actual proper roof. And I've got to say, I'm actually very, very happy with that. As you can see, it's kind of got a bit of a hook to it. And that's exactly what I was going for. And I'm very, very happy with how it's turned out. I still need to do the sides, but yeah, it's looking good. Okay, so for the sides, I'm kind of going for like an upturned look. So for that, I'm going to need to scaffold a little bit. So if I come down here, actually, no, oh, and try to place a block, yeah, I think will work. I need to go down like 1 level, and then I'm going to go straight back up. So for an example, if I get some stained clay, if I go like 1, 2, 3, okay, so it goes down 1, and then it's going to go straight back up, and then I think it's 2, 1, 2, then 2 again maybe, and then it's 1, so 2, 2, and 1. Now it's not actually going to be like symmetrical or anything. It's going to be quite haphazard. So it's kind of going to look very messy, but that's how I want it to look. So it's going to kind of like curve up like this on all sides, and we're going to see how that's going to look. I think it's going to be a bit difficult because I'm going to have to keep scaffolding underneath the tower. Well, not the tower, the roof, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. The sides are in place, and this is what it looks like now. Wow, it's amazing, isn't it? Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. It looks how I want it to look. I'm not quite happy with it just yet. So as you can see, it's actually really difficult to get an angle of this, but as you can see, it kind of like curves upwards, and it just looks really messy, and that's excellent. The problem is that there are certain sides to it that don't look quite right, and it's most prominent on this side over here. So if I come over here, you'll see that whilst the actual like this side kind of springs up, the diagonal bit is a bit too straight. So if I kind of try to get an angle there, it kind of just sort of is just a big straight line, and I don't really like that. So I'm probably gonna have to try to make that blend a little bit better, and maybe even have an upturning on the diagonal sides as well. And then I think I'll be happy with it, because it does look good, in my opinion at least. But yeah, I just need to make those few minor adjustments. Unfortunately, I just got too cocky. I fell off the tower, lost my stuff. When I tried to retrieve it, there was of course a creeper just waiting there who kindly blew it all up for me. I lost quite a few stacks of hardened clay, which is kind of annoying, but fortunately he didn't blow up my lapis or my Very nice pick here, so grateful for that. But I'm definitely going to need to put those holes in the roof now because, yeah, this tower is really dangerous. I've seen about 50 mobs spawn in one go already, so that is the next mission. So this is what the tower looks like with the skylights. And to tell you the truth, I'm not really happy with it. I mean, on one hand, it lights up most of the tower, but it doesn't really light up the base of the tower. And that is the most dangerous part of the tower. So plenty of mobs can still spawn here. They'll spot me on the ground and they'll just run off the tower and chase me. And I don't really like the holes. They kind of ruin the aesthetic, and the holes would need to be even bigger to actually make this base safe. So I'm going to probably have to come up with some different solution. Maybe some kind of hidden lighting or something. I don't want to use half slabs because that would make it look weird. But we'll see. It's a difficult one, this one. But let's take a short break from that. Now, some of you may have noticed that there is this chest addressed to me in my base, and I haven't checked it yet. So let's see what is inside. It's a book. Sidekick Wanted by Zedef. Okay. You are invited to audition as Wormman's sidekick. Who is Wormman? Nobody knows. But we do know he is a butt-kicking cool superhero that is in need of a sidekick to do sidekick things and paperwork. If you wish to apply, please prepare a 60-second speech on why you should be Wormman's sidekick, and also have a couple sidekick names that you would wish to be called. Wormman will then visit you and audition you. Wormman away. P.S. Zedef wrote this book, but he is not Wormman. He is Wormman's personal assistant and is not Wormman at all. Not even a little bit. So don't think he is, because he isn't. Seriously. He isn't. At all, okay? See, the funny thing here is I have been waiting for this moment all my life. First off, I have a kick-ass hideout that can double as an evil layer depending on what side of justice we're going to be standing on. Secondly, I have learnt the identities of the biggest villains of Moonlight, such as the mad genius Dr. Tang No, the wench of the forest, Poison Graph, and the dreaded psycho, the Impulsor. Take me on as your sidekick and I'll reveal these foul denizens' true identities. So please, Wormman, I beg of you, take me, the Simpleton, on as your sidekick. You know, I am absolutely terrified of going outside of my base. It's so dangerous. Every time I walk out of my front door, a creeper comes along and just blows me up. So I've kind of just got this little habit of just making a fake... Yep, there's one over there. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do now is, as I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video, what I want to do is I actually want to add a bit more detail to the tower, because at the moment it's just like a bit of a blank canvas. So what I have in mind is I kind of basically want it to make it look like it's kind of like crumbling apart. So I kind of wanted to give it like a plastery feel. So I'm going to try to sort of start giving the outline of the crumbly effect, and I will get back to you if I don't die too much. And also I think I'm going to put some temporary torches on there just to keep it safe for now. I'll try to come up with a solution in the future, but for the time being it's just too dangerous to keep it as is. 10 minutes later, I have set up a patch. There's probably going to be more than just that one. There's going to be like maybe 3 and on different sides of the tower. But I figured this would probably be the best one to do first, because this is kind of supposed to be like this is probably where everyone's going to be coming from, if they come ever. And this is where they're going to see the tower first. So yeah, I was going to start on this side. And what I'm going to do next is I'm actually going to fill in this patch with the new diorite, the raw kind. I don't think I have enough, so I might have to go actually get some more from, because there's like a packed ice biome somewhere that there was a load of diorite. But yeah, I'm going to fill this in with the diorite, and that should give it quite a nice like crumbly look. But we'll see how that goes. Probably shouldn't take too long, I suppose, but I might have, like I said, I might have to go fetch some more diorite. The diorite is in place, and it looks fantastic. Yep. I am pretty happy with that. It's pretty much what I was going for. So basically what I wanted to give the impression, like I said, of crumbling plaster. So the tower itself would be built out of this diorite, but then it would have a coat of this coloured plaster. But obviously because the building is old, it needs to look all like ruined and crumbly. And I think that does the job pretty well. Like I said, I'm going to add more than just this one patch. There's going to be more than that. But I'm not actually quite finished yet. There's still an extra detail I want to add to this crumbly effecty thing. And that is I want to give it some bricks. And it's kind of hard to explain, but I'll try to explain it to you when I actually place some, and you'll understand what I mean by it instantly. So the material I plan to use for the bricks is, of course, bricks. So the clay bricks. So I'm going to have to go get some clay. Once I've gathered that, I will get back to you and I'll kind of show you the look I'm actually going for. So what I'm going for is this. So as you can see on the actual brick texture, you can see there's actually a brick, then there's two bricks, then there's a brick, then there's two bricks. And I'm actually going to go for that pattern, but on a larger scale. Now the pattern goes 4 blocks in the middle and 2 stairs like this. So it kind of gives it a bit of a rounder look. And I'm going to just keep doing that all the way up to the top of the plaster section. And we'll see how that looks. I think it's going to look pretty good though. Are you ready for the final reveal? There we go. That's what it looks like. And I am pretty happy with the progress. I would definitely like to know what everyone else thinks of how I'm approaching the tower. I quite like it. I think the roof is looking good. I do like the plaster crumbly bit. And I'm going to add more stuff to it in the future, but obviously I can't do that all in one episode. But I think this is going to mark the end of episode 2. Again, I'm very, very sorry for the time between episode 1 and episode 2. It just, like I said, these things just take me ages to do. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.